Most databases contain a lot of information that lies dormant. We want to analyze that data and interpret it. This is called data mining. It's nicknamed data mining because it's like mining for gold. There's a lot of rock and just a few gold nuggets. We will use data mining techniques to help identify major gift prospects. Now, every development director knows that those who currently support your organization are better prospects for a major gift than those that don't. Still, I sometimes hear board members from various Catholic apostolates tell me, well, you know, you can't keep going back to the same well. My response to that is a question. Are you saying you'd rather dig a new well? You get the point. It's much easier to go back to an existing well than to allow others to drink from it while you dig a brand new well. To make clear the analogy, if we don't ask our current best supporters for major gifts, somebody else will. So the first thing we'll look at is prior giving history. Now, some organizations have a long track record of giving that goes back decades. Others, particularly startups, will have very limited records. In either event, prior giving is the best indicator of future giving and one of the primary indicators in finding major gift prospects. To be blunt, it's very rare to receive a major gift from someone that hasn't already been a regular sustaining supporter. Therefore, we need to create queries to identify the largest gifts and the most loyal donors in your database. Now, largest gifts and most loyal donors can be identified in three ways. First, the single largest gift. Second, total lifetime giving. Third, total number of gifts. For example, some people give very few gifts, but when they do, they are relatively large. So you may want to query your database for anyone who has made a single gift or a single pledge of, say, $10,000 or more. If they've made a gift at this level, odds are extremely high that they're probably a major gift prospect. Use a similar process to create a second query to identify total lifetime giving greater than X dollars. How much is X? That depends. I would typically begin with a query that identified total lifetime giving of $10,000 or more. How many records would that return for your organization? Let's say that this query returns 700 records. That might be more constituents than you've got time to review. So I would increase the total lifetime giving to, say, $15,000 or $20,000 until the query returns a manageable number of records to review. Again, as you increase the threshold in this case, the number of records would then come down, right? Finally, create a query, a third query, to identify repeat donors who have given X number of gifts or more. How much is X? Again, that depends. I would typically begin with searching on anybody that has given 20 gifts or more over the course of their relationship with you. That is 20 individual gifts over the lifetime of the record. How many gifts would that query return for your organization? It might bring up too many records to review in a reasonable amount of time. So keep increasing the number of gifts and rerun the query. As you increase the number of gifts needed to qualify to be included in the query, the number of records returned will obviously go down. Conversely, if you have a startup organization, you may not have anyone in the database that have made 20 gifts yet. So decrease the number of gifts needed to determine who your most loyal 100 or 200 donors might be. Here's an important point. The threshold used to qualify the largest and most loyal donors is different for every organization. For example, I know major Catholic universities where a gift of $100,000 is probably necessary for you to be qualified as a best donor amongst their constituents, right? On the other hand, I know a little Catholic mission school where a single gift of $1,000 would qualify you as a top donor and a hero. This is a side note, but an important one. In development, I find it's really difficult to compare your development success with anybody else. The most accurate benchmark for success will always be against yourself and not another Catholic organization. For example, I've done lots of work in the Catholic high school market. One Catholic high school will see that another Catholic high school on the other side of town has raised $10 million in their capital campaign, and certain members of the board will assume that they should be able to do that as well. But think about it. That assumes that both Catholic high schools serve the same market, the same socioeconomic group. And that's rarely, if ever, the case, even if the two schools are in the same city. So again, don't worry about how you compare to other charities and their fundraising. Benchmark yourself to your own prior performance. Let's continue the process. You've created 3 queries and adjusted the threshold on each so that each query returns a manageable number of records to review. The next step is to pull up each of these queries and begin to review the records one by one. Of course, as you examine each record, you will first review prior giving, but then also consider a host of other factors such as age, employment, address, and zip, and so on. We'll talk more about these other factors in our next video. For now, let's summarize what we've discussed so far. Most databases contain a lot of information that lies dormant. We want to analyze that data and interpret it. This is called data mining. It's like mining for gold. Largest gifts and most loyal donors can be identified in 3 ways. Single largest gift, total lifetime giving, total number of gifts. Create 3 queries to identify people in each category. Adjust the criteria for each query, raising or lowering the threshold until you have a manageable number of records to review. In our next video, we add to prior giving other factors that we consider when assigning a major gift target code.